Well, Stephen, congratulations on getting back in the win column there with another fight of the night, right? So, physically, how are you feeling after that? We see it on your face, but how are you?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt too much right here or like right here, but right here, it's a little sore. Yeah, man. I mean, I've got bumps and bruises, and of course, with the win, it's all worth it. You know, going out there and put on a good show in front of the fans. And I told everybody, you give me a striker, we're going to get fight of the night. And Kevin Holland was up for the grabs, and we put on a good show.
Is that the type of fight you expected from Kevin in there? Because even when you would, like, one of you would hit the canvas, you immediately would step back and say, no, get back up.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was kind of one of those unwritten rules that we had going into this fight. I know later on in the rounds he was shooting. I know he had a busted hand. But I think I fell down in the first round. He let me back up. He told me in the first round, he's like, hey, I'm not taking you down. I'm like, all right, man, sounds good to me. So, yeah, it was kind of one of those handshakes we had in the first round. Nobody was going to go down.
Was he telling you to slow down in there at some points?
He was telling me to slow down, and I was telling him I'm sorry the entire time. He was like, oh, you got me. He was like, I'm sorry, man. You got me good. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was fun. He's hilarious.
He was doing a guest scrum in New York, and he said there should be bragging rights between Kung Fu and karate now. So
100%. 100%, man. I mean, his Kung Fu style is awesome. I mean, he wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't as skilled, and it was just we wouldn't have put on a good show if it wasn't for him as well. So I appreciate Kevin.
And the commentary was saying that when you would land a lot, but when he would land, it just looked like it would just do more damage with one punch. So especially when he kind of clipped you in that first round. So how does his power compare to your past opponents?
Well, it was the reach that did all that I think that helped him with that. You know, I had to close more distance in order to hit him. All he had to do was straighten his arm out. So it landed more flush. So that's why later on in the round I started to use more kicks, going to the body, going to the head, a lot more spin kicks. But I had to be fast. I had to close the gap quick. And one of the reasons why I kept my right side forward, if we were in a closed stance, if I threw my power hand, I would lean right into his power hand. So when I put my right side forward in that open stance, I would throw my left, which led my head away from his power hand, which helped out a lot. He clipped me, I think it was first or second, I'm not sure, when I was up against the cage. And he smoked me good, right in the forehead. But thank goodness I was blessed with a hard head. Thanks, Pops, for that. So.
And we ran into, this is going to be a weird question, but we ran into Kevin after the ceremonial weigh-ins, and I asked why you guys were covering your chest, and he said you guys were like walking around flicking each other's nipples all week. So what's the story with that?
He was telling me a story in New York City. He flicked somebody's titty, and I guess Kamaru Usman or somebody Kamaru Usman was with got mad at him, and so I thought it was hilarious. So during some of the interviews this week, he flicked my titty. So I told him I was going to get him back, so that's why he covered his boobs up, because I knew I was going to get him back. He knew I was coming for him.
The final question, is it safe to say you're not going to be looking for a wrestler anytime soon in this division?
I mean, if you guys want more fights like that, give me a striker, baby. Give me a striker. So, of course, you know, I'm always looking for the title, and that's always at the top of the list, but why not have some fun fights on the way?
What happened in the third round? It looked like the referee kind of stopped the fight and then changed his mind and put the fight back on. Did you know what was happening there? Was it a low blow? What was going on?
I think, I don't know if it was, I was in close. I think I had him up against the cage, and I threw either a knee or a punch. And I think I might have clipped his cup or got him in the groin, and which is why they stopped it. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah. To the outside perspective, it looked like they had actually stopped the fight, and then he sort of.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that. It's funny. I had to go back and watch it because I don't remember a dang thing. Yeah. But I do remember having to stop because of a low blow. Mm-hmm. Not sure if I actually hit him there, but you got to take a break.
Do you know when you may have hurt his hand? Because it sort of seemed apparent at the end of the third and fourth round that he was not throwing it anymore, but could you feel a moment where he seemed to wince or anything like that?
Every time I would throw my left leg right to his right arm, I knew he had a really strong right hand, and me and my coaches, Pops and Davini and Carlos Machado, knew that if I threw that back leg to that right arm, it would slow it down a lot. So I kept trying to fire my left leg roundhouse to his back arm over and over and over again to try to slow it down. So that might have had something to do with it.
You landed the left straight over and over again. Were you surprised at any point, like, man, this guy could take a punch?
Well, he's so long, and I have to start throwing my left hand at a longer range. So right at the very end, it didn't have as much power as I wanted on it because I had to really close the gap, and he was very long, so he just faded back and kind of evaded a lot of the power. But he was tough, man. I think that's what surprised me the most. He could take some shots and keep on coming.
Two more quick ones. Obviously, you sort of said a couple of things that were exchanged there, but what other stuff was being said in there, and any ones that stand out to you?
Whenever we headbutted each other, he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh no, it's okay. Keep fighting, keep fighting." We had some fun conversations in there. At the very end, he started to shoot. I was like, "Hey, I thought you weren't going to shoot, man." He's like, "I got to do what I got to do."
And last one, can you please expand on getting arrested for skinny dipping?
Oh my gosh, I knew this was coming up. Why did I open my mouth? It was years ago, and some girls were involved, and we went.
That's always the way.
I know. We went skinny dipping, and we got caught. So, but I got all that expunged. I got to train some police officers for like several weeks, and it was good. Got expunged, man.
That's wild. Did they catch you because they knew you were coming?
Did they catch me because they knew I was?
Did they set up like a way to catch you? Like with
No.
cameras and
So
stuff?
what happened was like a week before, somebody had vandalized their pool. I've never been to that pool before in my life, and we just got it was just the wrong time. They had put up cameras and stuff, so me and a few others, our naked bods were up on the front pool hall board for the longest with everything blacked out. So, yeah, it was, parents weren't happy about that, but, you know.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn, man.
Any other questions?
Kevin's management tweeted that right in the front. They tweeted that he broke his hand in the first round.
Probably on my head.
On a cross.
Definitely on my noggin. I felt that one. But like I said, you know, that's what he gets for punching me in the head. You know what I mean? No, I got a hard head, and I did feel that. I had to weather the storm. He threw a lot of elbows as well. That kind of staggered me a little bit. But I had to keep moving, and like I said, I got a hard head and weathered the storm and you know, got the W.
Good.
Over here, Steven. I noticed, like in the fourth, he was kind of like a wounded animal. You know, he had the hand, and it was some points where he would kind of like say something, and you would just go right in. Did you feel like he was kind of delayed a little bit just by the hand and just thinking about it too much?
Well, I staggered him a little bit, and I could tell. I hit him with a few spin hook kicks to the head, roundhouse kicks to the head, some left hands, and I was like, daggum, how is this guy still up? I definitely broke my left hand on his noggin as well. He broke his right, I broke my left. So he was just tough, man. It wasn't giving up. So I just kept focused on, I saw him shake his hand, so I just kept focused on that right hand, just kept going for it with my left leg roundhouse.
Yeah, and the body kicks were just...
Yes. Pops called it. He said, go for the body. Nobody taxes his body. So I kept digging the body with the left leg, and it paid off.
And then the lead leg kicks were killing him too in the fourth. That was just...
Yeah, man. Those lead leg... I knew he was long, and I went back and watched the Brazilian Cowboy fight. And he kept throwing low calf kicks on Kevin, and Kevin wasn't too happy about it. So I just kept throwing those outside left calf kicks on the outside. So I worked both sides, but the plan, because I can work both sides, to stay away from, like I said, his right hand, I kept my right side forward pretty much the entire time. I try to throw him off a little bit, switching every now and then, but that dude's tough, man. Golly.
Yeah, you seem like just a step ahead, just with the speed and the technicality of the striking. So I feel like that's what kind of threw him off after a while, because the first round was a banger.
Oh, thanks.
You know, second round was a banger, and then you were kind of pulling away towards the end.
I kind of felt, after he told me, he was like, hey, man, slow down. I was like, oh, this dude's getting tired. Yeah. He told me to slow down. I was like, nah. I said yeah, but I was like, nah, in my head. So I knew if I just kept in his face the entire time, he would start to slow down. And I knew I was going to be faster than him. I'm getting faster every day. I mean, I'll be 40 in February. I'm still out there getting it, man. So the only thing I can do is go back and watch this fight. Me and my coaches next week will probably go back and watch and see what we can fix and get better. And we'll ready for next time.
Yeah, man. Beautiful performance, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.